G'day, my name is Kyle from Size Digital, and this is going to be an overview of the Cin7 platform. Now, please keep in mind that this is only going to be a brief overview of the user interface and a few modules and functions of the platform. If you need anything specific as far as support is concerned, please go to help.cin7.com or alternatively give us an email and we'll help you out the best that we can. Okay, so this is the basic view going to be presented with when you log in. Now, keep in mind that this is going to be user specific based on what you see here, whether you are an admin or whether you are a locked down user. Now, as far as the base sort of dashboard is concerned, I can add extra reports available from here just by clicking that and then just choosing from the stars to add and remove reports that I see when I first log in. As far as navigating Cin7 is concerned, you are looking at the left hand sort of bar here, which is only going to show you things based on what you have access to from the user point. And then up the top here, you have again the same sort of thing from here, with the caveat being that you can add further parts of the application that you use more often than not. Okay, so let's go to the first module, which is CRM. Okay, so you're able to add essentially 4 different types of record from here. You're adding suppliers, customers, internal, and branch. Now, suppliers and customers are, of course, relatively self-explanatory, just customers against your sales orders and suppliers against your purchase orders. Internal, of course, is an internal log, and then your branch, lastly, is actually your inventory locations, so your warehousing. You can't actually add these from here, but you can add them from your settings page as long as you're an admin. Okay, so as far as creating a new customer is concerned, it's fairly self-explanatory, just adding in the mandatory fields and you're pretty much good to go, but there's plenty of information you can fill out here. Now, a lot of these other things, for example, like payment terms, you can actually set and create these from the settings page as well. And also similar to things like stages. If you want to be able to set stages for your customers up, you can do these from here. For example, like having a prospect or a current customer, for example. And then obviously you've got little extra sort of pieces of functionality whereby you can set callback dates and notes for the particular customer. Just keep in mind as well that you can update information and customize information from here. So things like your CRM settings, email templates, your reports, and then custom fields as well. All of them are going to be tailored specifically to your business. Okay, so jumping and moving on, we look into products. So this is of course going to be the place that you are going to be setting up your products for sale or for order. Now, for example, if I click into an example product, you can see through here you've got the product name, you've got the stock control, which are your 2 mandatory entries. Now, of course, stock control being your first in, first out batch serial or non-stock number, non-stock process. If you scroll down from here, you're going to see the unit of measurement, which is of course a bottle in this case, and then you can set your reorder points, and then of course your pricing, which you can set multiple tiers for, and then obviously specials if you've got sales that you want to have your pricing immediately change for. Okay. Now, just a note to make on this, as far as importing products is concerned with Cin7, it's got a really great system how they sort of go about doing this. So all you need to do is just import a file that has sort of headers and columns with all your information. Now, the Cin7 doesn't actually require a specific template to import your products. What it will do is that if you import products from an old system, for example, it will give you the option to map particular fields on your CSV file to fields existing in Cin7, making it really easy for you to do and set up your import. Just a little bit of an addendum there. Okay, as far as purchase orders are concerned, so this is obviously the place you're going to be doing all of your ordering. Now, a good thing to note from this particular page is that the filter from here will always default to open and save purchases. If I want to search through my entire history, I just have to go to search all, and that will change that. As far as an existing purchase order is concerned, really sort of, so these are, it's fairly universal with things like quotes, purchase orders, sales orders, how Cin7 will actually look when you are going through the process. There's a really sort of good annotation system here whereby you can go through the process to make sure that everything makes sense. So I've got the company here. which I've added, and then you can see here I've added the product. Now, don't worry too much about this load build of materials part here. This is consistent throughout the application. But you can see here it shows me how much in stock I've got, how many incoming I have as well, and how many have been ordered. Now, from this particular process here, we can then go to, once we've added the products, we can go to a review process, which just lets us basically just review all the information, and then we can actually go through here. Once we are satisfied with Once we're satisfied with, obviously, if that's been fully received, we can then just click and add in particular times when this is received, and that will change the order status. Similar with things like when you want this to be invoiced, and obviously if you want to add a supplier inventory number, you can as well. So as soon as you click sort of fully received and invoiced and then go to saved, that will then go to a fully received status. So if I actually look into here and look into my received invoices, you can see here that this has been fully received on a specific date, and then obviously you've got your invoice date and supply number from there. And then you can sort of see from the bottom here, once you actually click those two, of course your quantity received will update. Okay. Okay. And just to give you a little bit of background on this too, you can actually bulk import purchase orders as well. As far as your sales orders are concerned, it's a very similar process. Of course, you are, again, it's got the number annotations for where you need to be able to add information in. You're adding in your products. It shows you obviously how much is available and incoming, and then you can sort of go through from there. Same thing, you can go to the review step, and then once you've fully dispatched it and invoiced it, that will then go to a dispatched status. So if I go to invoiced, you can see here, you can see things have been dispatched and invoiced, for example. Okay. And again, as I mentioned before, you are able to import sales orders as well. Okay. So this is the production suite. So you are actually, for your particular products with the bill of materials, you are actually able to add through your production jobs from here. Now, if I just go back to that page, sorry, I want to go to ones that have been completed to show you. So if I'm completing a cider case, I've got the information there. I've got the particular information that's being added and created. And then again, I'm just going through the process of when it's due and then completing and approving it. And obviously, once I've gone through that process, that stock will be converted and be available for me to sell in my system. Okay. Now, as far as your stock is concerned, I've obviously got a few different things here. You've got stock take master, branch transfers, adjustments, and track stock movements. Pick and pack is a separate application. If I go to stock take master, the way that this works is that you are able to set your, so I'm just going to go to branch for Melbourne. So it's going to show you all of your particular products here. Now, the way that a stock take works in Cin7 is that it's not done in app. Basically, the way that you do this is you go through and you choose the fields that you want to take note of. So for example, if I just go through and decide what I want for these particular amounts, I go export data, and it basically gives you this large piece of information here. Now this is just information that you can basically completely copy and paste into an Excel sheet. You go through and you update the numbers to what they're meant to be. Obviously your counted versus your expected. Once you've done that, you just paste the data straight back in once it's complete, and then you process the counts. That's then going to pretty much go through and give you a comparison. You can then recheck the data, and then you can just finish everything off, and that will go through and process those changes. The process is fairly similar with the branch transfers as well. With branch transfers, it's similar to your stock ordering process. So again, you just choose yourself the warehouse that you are going to be transferring items to. That they're coming from, and then you choose your transfer to. Now this is a little bit confusing from a user interface perspective because you can see here that branch is up here, but you need to change the transfer to from this particular point from here. And then again, it's just a case of following along with the values. So following in the branch, selecting the approval date, the dispatch date, and then just saving as you go along, and obviously entering in your information from here as well. Okay. And then of course you've lastly got your stock movements, which basically is just going to show you all of your stock movements and your in and out from this particular page. So it's just going to give you a bulk sort of report in that particular case. Okay, so of course, as I mentioned before, you've got your retail dashboard reports, which you have access to add, and you've also got your full sort of standard reports to go through as well. Again, these are relatively customizable, and they'll give you a lot of sort of further information to drill down with as well. Okay. Lastly, I will just sort of go through and show you that you can set up and hang on, sorry. From here, you can obviously choose get all your account information sorted. So if you are a partner company, you just choose companies from here, and you can actually select and choose which companies you have access to. Now, as far as users are concerned, you can add and customize users as necessary. Now, the amount of information for drill down on this is really comprehensive. You're able to actually block a staff member to a specific IP addresses, so they can't log in aside from their specified location, which is really, really good for security purposes. And then, of course, you can lock them pretty heavily based on any type of access as well. So, for example, you've got standard and manager access, and of course, you can drill down to those in the help at help.cin7.com. The last thing I wanted to show was what it looks like when you have a user that is, for example, only a point of sale user. So Cin7 has a point of sale system as well. So for example, I can go to, if I just log this user out, now if I log this user in, you can see here, this is a purely point of sale user. So you can only see anything that's related to them sales wise and nothing else. If I go to sales and go to pause, so this is what the point of sale looks like from this particular point. So of course I can type in my products as well, add them as I need, and then of course, add things like your customers and that, but it's fairly straightforward the way that it works. Just go to pay, select a payment type, select the payment amount, all that sort of thing from there, and that will obviously be processed as a new sales order in Cin7. So another sort of aspect from that. But let me just log myself out of here. Just one more thing I wanted to add as far as this is concerned. Now, just keep note of the settings page from as far as Cin7 is concerned, because essentially almost every part of the application can be customized to suit your business. Now, it's not going to be for every single scenario, but there is a lot of things you can drill down and do to sort of further customize to suit your needs. Okay, this was a brief overview video of the Cin7 platform. Again, like I mentioned sort of throughout the video, if you are looking for anything specifically as far as the platform is concerned, what it can do, go to help.cin7.com and you can look into their help center from there. Or alternatively, if you have any questions specifically for us, feel free to come through to us. Thank you so much.